What's going on, everybody? And unlike Sam Pittman, I'm back this week to make my picks. Y'all know how we do it. Early game, middle game, night game, then a nightcap. I'm going to get right to it. The early game, Clemson and North Carolina. These are two teams where Clemson's season isn't going the way they thought it would, or I thought it would. And North Carolina's season is going about how I thought it would. If Clemson's going to turn their season around, it has to start in Chapel Hill. And North Carolina, this is a game where they can go a long way toward proving some doubters, me included, on what they're going to do this season. I thought they were going to barely make a bowl. They can get a win against Clemson. They'll continue Clemson's spiral, downward spiral, and maybe give them a key win so far this year. Moving on to the middle game, of course, I'm a Texas guy. Wife's a Florida alum, but that's not the game I want to talk about. The game I want to talk about is, of course, Bama and Vandy. Game day is going to be in Nashville. Everybody's going to be all super excited. Diego Pavia put on an all-time performance last year, looking to recreate that, but this time it's going to be in Tuscaloosa. It was easy to kind of feel the vibe and kind of feed off the fans last year, but going to T-Town is going to be tough. And Alabama last week looked to kind of get some of that swagger back. Vandy's 5-0 for the first time in a long time, so it should be a very interesting game, a game that I feel like in that afternoon slate, along with some other games, but I think I'm going to key in mostly on Alabama and Vandy. The night game, there's a couple of night games that I could go over, but the rivalry game, big game, Florida State and Miami, ACC, big time night game. It should be an electric atmosphere at I'm sure, sold out Doak Campbell Stadium. Now, Florida State's loss last week against Virginia takes a little bit off of this matchup, but not really. When you have two longtime bitter rivals like this going at it, and Florida State was able to move the ball. After a shaky start, you spotted Virginia 14 points. Florida State was able to move the ball pretty much at will in the second half. And, of course, we had the controversial ruling in overtime on the touchdown that was or wasn't. But I like this Miami team. And Miami has been very stingy against the run. And running the ball is something that Florida State has been able to do quite well this year. So it's interesting to see how Carson Beck plays. We've seen Tommy Castellanos, again, they lost last week to Virginia, but no, it was no fault of Castellanos. He was fantastic as he's been all year. So interesting to see how Carson Beck reacts to probably the toughest defense that he's seen this year. So we'll see that. Lastly, the nightcap. Now, I've been kind of dogging the nightcap games the last couple of weeks, but this is one that I'm actually going to stay up for, Duke versus Cal. If you don't know about JKS, the superstar freshman quarterback at Cal, this will be a good time to watch him against a pretty good Duke team who has a good quarterback in themselves in Darian Mensah. So you want to see two good young quarterbacks. Well, Mensah's not young, but if you want to see two good quarterbacks play, stay up late and watch Duke versus Cal. So that's all I got this week, man. Enjoy the games.